Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. I've got Princess Hannah Grace right here. Harley's in the wings. I need help. And I've never had to ask for help like this in my entire life. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time for my outbursts of tears and heartache. I've been uploading videos since my beloved Roddy, Princess Harley, was not feeling well in August. And I thought she wasn't going to make it. And since then, it's turned into a ministry that I never even dreamed of. And I'm beyond grateful and blessed for each and every one of you for tuning in. Truly, I am. I love each and every one of you, even if I haven't met you, because you feel my heart. And for those of you that have reached out to me, I felt your heart. So, I have been fighting for my life for 2 years since getting blood clots in my brain in February of 2020. I've been in multiple facilities. I've been in hospitals and ambulances. And it took coming here to the Florida Keys to get me better. And people, doctors here told me, why you came here to be sick. Why were you sick? People don't come here when they're sick. Well, I'm living proof. You can be healed in a place that you adore. So, as time marched on, from August, I went to see my doctor in Davie, Florida, and he couldn't believe the miraculous improvement. And then in October, my body, I felt like I was dying again. So I went in, and he tested me, and I tested positive to all three, and I never got one of them. Not one. Not one of them. So he formulated remedies to heal my body. And in December, he tested me again, and one of them was still there. So formulated more remedies. And then in January 1, after my brother had told me he had read the Bible 7 times, and I felt bad because I had never read it in its entirety when I was a little girl. It wasn't fun growing up in my household. Not one bit. I would hide under the covers at night and read my Bible. And it was so worn that the corners were just raveled in a hot mess. But I always felt safe next to Jesus. Always. So, in Lent last year, in this home, I came in a rented. I decided to become a minister after being a tax collector myself for 18 and a half years, and the stress almost took my life. In fact, I attempted suicide in October of 2019 because I was over-medicated with Xanax. I've never wanted to hurt myself in my life, nor will I ever, because I will never take a mind-altering drug for the rest of my life. My body is allergic to pharmaceuticals. So in January, I started reading the Bible. I had picked up a schedule at St. Mary's Basilica quite a while back. And I knew I wanted to read it, but I didn't know when I was going to start it. And why not January 1? Which was to be done in a year. Well, I'm already through, almost, mid through April, because I've been reading it at warp speed. I can't put it down, because it's been paralleling my life, especially with the devotions. I'm reading 7 different books. 5 of them are devotions by different people, then the Bible and the Book of Mormon, and they all go together. They all just kind of connect together, and they have been. I add a new book, and it just goes with the rest of them, and they're written by multiple authors, so that's not a coincidence. So in January, when I started reading the Bible out loud and recording it to upload to my YouTube channel, with the hopes that it could help somebody else understand the Bible, because it is quite difficult to understand. And I kept constantly hearing, God heals. God heals. And if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, which Lord knows, my faith is way bigger than that. It always has been. So, then I started reading about casting out demons and healing people. If they were blind, they could see, and a withered hand, and one right after the other. And I thought, what do I have to lose? I worked on my 2 Rottweilers. My Hannah wasn't even acting like herself this day. She was foaming at the mouth to the floor and wasn't even listening, and that's not her nature. So I started with her. And it was pretty hard, because whatever demon had inflicted her, she wouldn't look me in the eye, and I had to hold on to her face until she started licking me in the face, because she was growling at me, and she's never been growling ever in my life. So once I rid her of the demon, and I worked on Harley, and her tumors started disappearing without pharmaceuticals, including myself. Then I worked on myself, because it said to write down your demons and cast them out. So I did. I counted 9. And the last one was the worst. That one really had a hold on me. That one almost took my life, and didn't care about my life the day that I attempted to take mine. So when I woke up in the hospital, strapped to the bed, and the tube coming out of my throat, I put my hands in the air in front of the nurses and said, what do you want from me? I don't know anymore. I've been a tax collector, and I've been beaten to death by the stress, the taxpayers, because of the laws and regulations that I didn't make up. It's not my fault. So I came here to heal. And I didn't realize I could do it myself. So on January 30th, when I worked on my girls and worked on myself, I was pain-free. And there's videos. There's countless videos that I've uploaded of the pain that I went through from the demons that were afflicting my body and the constant people that were coming here and hurting me even further. So on January 6th, well, in November, and even in the summer, I had already committed to another year in this house, because I was going to figure out a way some way, somehow, in my think tank, where I've been inventing things and creating things, and my art has skyrocketed, my ministry is skyrocketing. I was going to figure out how I was going to buy this house. So they offered in November another round of lease for a whole nother year. And I accepted. And offered it again, and I accepted. Then on January 6th, the house was going on the market because the couple that own this house are getting a divorce. Well, I was not well that day. I didn't heal myself and understand the Bible in its entirety, or at least that more until January 30th. So on January 6th, I could barely drive to acupuncture, but I managed to go because I had to go because I was in so much pain, and got myself home and saw the text message because I always turn my phone off because it's very distracting to my acupuncturist and myself when my phone is dinging during a session, because that's not helpful. You need to be quiet and you need to be still in order for it to be effective. So when I got home, I told them I didn't feel well. And the landlords have known my medical condition. It's not a secret. It was constant. I kept them in the loop all the time. That night, she said that I violated the lease, that I declined them coming to the house to show the house 5 times, which was a complete fabrication. That was a lie. It happened once. One time. Told me on the 6th, which of course I was not well. I had to be out in 30 by the end of the month when the lease expired, the original lease. I said, that's not possible. I can barely take care of myself, and you want me to pack up my entire household? I've got me and 2 Rottweilers. How am I going to do that? Physically, I cannot. And I know I have rights. So I had met a friend in Key West. That's a former Manhattan attorney that I contacted and told him my situation. And he said I had rights. So I pleaded my case because then they sued us, me and Phil Wagaman. Because Phil, by his generosity for what I've done for him, for his businesses, etc., he's been financially taking care of me because I couldn't financially take care of myself. The sale of my accounting practice so far this year, after 18 and a half years, $66.66 or something to that effect. Or $63.33. That's all I've gotten so far this year from the sale of my accounting practice. You can't live on that. And I've just recently been well. So I've been trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. There's nothing available for rental here. There's over 5,000 people displaced in Key West alone. The landlords are gouging tenants left and right and throwing them out on the street because they just don't care. So I pleaded the case, submitted it to the court with a full year's rent, just as we paid before, because Phil agreed to pay for the full year and to continue to provide for me until I can provide for myself. And the judge ruled in favor of the landlords, even though I had multiple messages confirming the meeting of the minds and me accepting their year lease. The judge rejected it, and I don't understand how that's even possible. So today, the sheriff showed up at my house. And I am being evicted. I've got 24 hours to vacate the premises. So by 3:30 tomorrow, he will be back with an attorney to escort me off the property. And I will be officially homeless starting tomorrow. So I called the bank because I set up a corporate account. I've set up 3 businesses since I got here in this last year because I didn't know how long I was going to be sick. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to be able to provide for myself. And I thought, you know what? If I just start my own businesses, I could do that. So I started them and started working on inventory for my artwork. I started writing down my inventions, started getting back into the kitchen, thank the Lord, by one of the guys at the market, a French chef that is such a love. He got me back into the kitchen by the grace of God. So I started creating again and baking. In fact, I made key lime tarts for a wedding today when the bride decided at the last minute she wanted to get a cake. Well, I made them anyway and gave them to her as a gift. Plus, I gave her a gift, one that I got at the market from my friend Beth that does these beautiful sea glass pictures with a prayer card and my name with my website, with my YouTube channel, Nat333. Because last night her mother died and she's very spiritual and it just broke my heart. And I haven't even met her. So I called the bank to ask them what I could do to set up. I already have the bank account set up for the business. What do we need? She said all they need to know is the name of your business and our location, and people can contribute. So, what I am asking is for you to please help me stay in my home, and anybody that contributes will get royalties for the rest of your life that can be passed down to generations. I was a bean counter for 18 and a half years, and I am honest as the day is long. Even after clients left me, I still tried to protect their assets, no matter what, because that was the duty that I took on. My life has paralleled the Bible. Becoming a minister was not an accident. My father was an assistant chaplain in the Army and did prison ministry. I have had several people stay in my home that have stayed here for free because in the lease it said I couldn't charge rent. Some of them had been in jail before. Some of them do prison ministry now. I've even brought strangers into my home to help them because they needed help. Because that's who I am, and that's what God wants of all of us. Help thy neighbor as thyself. The last asset that I had was a Cadillac Escalade 1999 that I gave to my friend Anna Sheets that came to stay with me in Indiana before I left to move here in Summerlin Key, Florida, which is still driving it to this day. So please help me and my girls stay forever home. And I promise you, we will make a difference. We already are. And we will help others. If there is a surplus outside of what it's needed to buy the house, and I will have to put that in I'll put it in when I get the actual dollar amount that I'm seeking. I will start a fund for those people that are displaced here in the Keys and around the globe to help them. And I know that there's my friends in Uganda and Africa that need help too. And I haven't been able to help them because I was so sick. So I've been trying to figure out how I could help them even though I was sick. That's just who I was, and I am. So, please, I beg of you to help me stay here so I can help share God's word with the world daily, like I have been since August, and continue to do so in the comforts of my own home that I saw my stairway to heaven in last Lent. And I'm getting ready to go on a long-distance road trip because I cannot fly. I will not conform to what the government wants us to do. So I had already planned a trip with my two beloved girls to drive to Arizona, which is 2,497 miles, so I could attend my nephew's wedding that I love dearly. So, I've never, ever asked anybody for help, but I really need help, and I truly hope you can help me and my two girls stay in our forever home. Because what has happened to me and others is not right. That's not of God. The greed is so horrific in this world. And when I told the sheriff when he came here my story, he said, my wife is from Indiana. I said, well, what if I set up a fund and get people to donate? He goes, that's a great idea. He said, I will see you tomorrow at 3:30. My YouTube channel is Nat333. My favorite number has always been 9. My girlfriend Kathleen Gilmore asked me, I don't know who we got on the subject of, I don't even know. My favorite number is 9 because when you flip it upside down, it's a 6. So, when he said 3:30, I just about fell on the ground. So I have until 3:30 tomorrow to raise the money so that then when they show up the doorstep, I can say, here's the money for the house. So I don't have to leave. If I don't raise the money, I will officially be homeless, starting at 3:30 tomorrow, unless they let me stay to get my house in order. I don't know, I've never been in this position in my life. So I'm sorry, I'm so emotional, but this is very overwhelming, all of it. To think I've done the right thing most of my life. I've always been honest. I've always told the truth. I've always helped others, even when I couldn't help myself. So please, please, help me so that I can help you and others just like me that have been hurt by the system that's broken. Our justice system has been broken for years. And I've been trying to change it ever since I got sick. And I was told, don't worry about everybody else, worry about yourself, Natalie. That's not what he wants. That's not what he has told us in his beautiful written Bible. So please, please help us. And again, you will get royalties that will be passed down for generations. Because this, I have always given my heart. I have met people through all walks of life. I passed out hearts. I've passed out prayer cards. I have done unto others as I have do to me. I'm so sorry that I'm even having to ask for anything from anybody, because I'd rather get the shirt off my back than ask for help. But to think that I would have to leave my beloved home that I've healed in and healed myself in is something that I can't even digest. So I'm awaiting my Italian handyman that has connections with the radios and stuff, so I can go public on top of my YouTube channel. Please share this with everyone you know. I had an African pastor contacted me today that wants to join my ministry with 24 countries and 1.45 billion people. He just contacted me today. So I'm going to reach out to him and some of the other pastors that have reached out to me for help as well. But the account is at First State Bank of the Keys in Big Pine Key. And the company is La Casa Tesoro Del Cielo, which translates to Heaven's Treasure. And I named that a long time ago. Please help me save my house. Please. I beg of you to help me and my girl stay in our forever home. So, that's all I have for right now. And I'm so sorry to pour my heart out, but I don't know what else to do, and I don't have anywhere else to go. So, please help us. Please. It could happen to anyone. It could happen to you, just like it happened to me. I never thought in my life I would ever be homeless or facing homelessness. I can't even digest that. So, even though we can be strong, it's okay to be a little weak sometimes. And today, it's not necessarily weakness, it's just heartache. To think that something that I've poured my heart and soul into could be taken away from me. So, thank you for listening. I hope you can help out. And please know, you can trust me 100% with what I'm telling you. All you have to do is look at the over 400 videos I've uploaded. They are raw. They are not pre-recorded. Well, they are pre-recorded, but they're not touched up or whatever. They're real. It's who I've always been. my entire life. So, thank you again for listening. And again, I apologize for my emotional breakdown. I tried to take some deep breaths and see if I couldn't get it together, but it's starting to get a little pause. Thank you, Jesus. What makes us weak can only make us stronger, right? So, I'll see you later. I love you.